always loved to paint and draw since I was really, really little, but it started for me when we're living in Argentina, and my grandpa lived in a house behind our home, like a little apartment behind our home, and it was my job to take him some bread and the newspaper every single morning, and then when we were there, he would draw these little, very cartoony type horses with men on their back, like men on horseback, a big old cigar, and they always were exactly the same. And I was like 3, I thought they were the greatest drawings ever, and all I wanted to do was draw like my grandpa. And I worked at it, and I would draw, and I would compare my drawings to how good his drawings were. I was always pretty artistic, even very, very young, but I just wanted to draw like my grandpa. About 10 years ago, I started restoring Volkswagens, kind of for fun, but to make some money on the side, and so that I could keep painting, because this is what I want to do. I got a little bit more adventurous, I got a little bit more ambitious, and I learned something new every single time until I was doing by myself complete full-on restorations. I loved it. I had no idea how much fun it was going to be, and it was also good money. The whole time I was painting, and I was doing mostly figurative work, kind of like what this is here. I was doing a lot of portraits, and I was doing nudes, and just kind of settings where there was figures involved, figurative paintings, and somewhere along there I was kind of, my buses were just kind of staring at me, and I thought, I need to paint my buses. I need to paint my buses. It's what's real for me. It's what's true for me. Or to look at a blank canvas and have that spark happen, and the transition between a blank canvas and something that is alive, or something that has a soul and comes back to me. There's a point in the painting where as you're working on, as you're painting and you're thinking about colors and this and that, all of a sudden it changes into something completely different, and I'm not thinking about color or shape or composition. I'm thinking about how it's alive and how to make it more alive. People's reaction is very nostalgic, and they tell me funny stories, or everyone's owned one, and when they were just married, or when they were in college or high school, or their first car, or where it broke down, and really funny stories. And so that was kind of the response that was very, very positive for me. And I love the history that is behind every single one of these vehicles, and the story they tell in the rust, and in their abandonment, or in their restoration, or whatever it is. Your passion sometimes has nothing to do with finances, and our lives are very controlled by our finances. If you're passionate about something, I think that it should always be a part of your life in some way. We all have to work, we all have to make a living. Not all of us are lucky enough to be able to make a living from what we're passionate about or what we love. I love this, and I'm working at it, and I'm, in the game and all that. Not everybody can do that. Or maybe your passion doesn't even have anything to do with money, which is even better, because then it's just all fun. But there's no way that I would condone living life without the passion that you love, without that thing that makes you wake up and hunger for, or push for.